Hello, everyone, and welcome back. How do you like to start your day? Well, if you ask me, there has always been one constant. No morning begins without my cleaning routine. The methods, procedures, or areas I clean may vary, but doing some cleaning has always been a part of my mornings. Having a routine like this isn't just about keeping things tidy, it's about setting the tone for the entire day. Today, I plan to clean all the fans in the house. Delhi has been experiencing multiple thunderstorms lately, and there is just so much dust settling everywhere. So, today's task is cleaning all the fans. But fan cleaning, of course, doesn't stay limited to just the fans. I use this amazing duster that works really well for fans and cobwebs. The best part, it doesn't spread dust all around. The microfiber in it collects and holds everything until you wash it clean. However, there was always some grease buildup, so I'm using a mix of vinegar and baking soda to clean the fans thoroughly. This solution works like a charm for cutting through the grease. Does this happen to you too? That no matter how small the task looks, it ends up becoming a whole project. For me, once I start, one section leads to another, and before I know it, I have cleaned an entire area. I often fall into this cleaning momentum trap. It does take up time, but the satisfaction after a deep clean is totally worth it. After cleaning the fans and dining area, I washed the duster and moved on to dusting the rest of the living room. Honestly, I don't dust the same area every day. I keep dusting on rotation so it never feels boring. This way, every part of the house gets attention now and then, and everything stays generally clean. Watching me clean, Rutvi got motivated too and started tidying up her room. She has the same knack of keeping things organized. The challenge though is maintaining that system. But I'm sure that will come with practice. It was so heartwarming to see her organize her drawer and table with such dedication. I was a bit worried about how the kids would spend their holidays together, but thankfully I don't need to plan much. These small routines keeps them busy and the rest of the time goes into holiday homework, reading, indoor and outdoor play and a bit of TV. These little schedules and rhythms really help keep them engaged. Just like that, my morning cleaning routines, though small, have a powerful impact on how my day unfolds. I feel more energized and motivated to tackle the rest of my chores with purpose. I truly believe that building this kind of momentum early in the day makes everything else feels more manageable. After an active start of the day, I usually call off the cleaning and move on to the mid half of my day. Bathing marks a shift. It signals that things will now slow down a bit. Earlier, I used to jump straight to a warm cup of tea after my bath, treating it as a reward for a productive cleaning session. But lately, I am trying to control on my tea, and instead of cutting that habit entirely, I've been trying to replace it with black coffee or herbal tea as a healthier alternative. And it really does feel good. But today I had something special to share with you. I recently purchased a few cotton kurtas online and thought I would do a mini haul. First up is this beautiful halter neck cotton kurta set from Globus. I absolutely loved the fit, the color, and the little pin tuck detailing near the neckline. The halter cut is just perfect and the overall fit is also very great. It's flared at the bottom and guess what? It has pocket on one side, which was a total deal maker for me. The fabric is pure cotton, super soft and so comfortable on the skin. This one's definitely a perfect pick for summer. The kurta length hits mid-calf, which I think is just right. Both kurta and bottom have the same floral print and I'm in love with the black and red combination. What do you guys think? The second piece is a fawn colored, beautifully printed kurta set. I have always loved V-necks and this one has just the right depth. The standout feature here is the lace detailing on the kurta. It adds such a feminine vibe and makes the whole outfit look more expensive. It has 3/4 sleeves with the same lace on the border and again the fabric is soft, breathable cotton. I am totally in love with the print and color combo. The matching bottoms are parallel pants and they fit really well. I prefer a slightly loose fit, especially in summers, and this set is true to size. Perfect if you like a relaxed, breezy look too. The last one is a single kurti, also with a V-shaped neckline and mix of prints. I adore the neck detailing with little shell embellishments and the pleated waist. The highlights of the kurti is definitely the flared sleeves in a lehriya print. So eye-catching. And yes, it has a pocket on one side too. The fabric is once again pure cotton, light, breathable and ideal for summers. I paired it with my white parallel pants and the whole look came together beautifully. The waist flare makes it super comfy to wear all day. I'm really happy with all three pieces, but I would love to know which one do you think suits me the best. Let me know in the comments. I have shared the link of all these kurtas in the description box in case you would like to check them. After that little joy session, it was time to get back to business and make some breakfast. The kids usually eat an early breakfast, something simple like oats or cereal. So our main breakfast happens around 10:30. Today's breakfast was simple, protein-rich and totally kid-friendly dal dosa. I had pre-soaked masoor and moong dal in the morning, so now it was time to grind them. I used a mixer grinder and blended the dals with some ginger, green chili, cumin seeds, salt, a pinch of hing and just enough water to get a dosa batter like consistency. I added the water slowly to make sure the batter was thick enough to drop easily from the spoon. While the batter rested, I made a delicious chutney. For this, I took some peanuts, roasted gram and sesame seeds and roasted them in just half teaspoon of oil in a small pan. I added a few cumin seeds and roasted everything until the sesame seeds started to crackle. Then in a blender jar, I added fresh curry leaves, coriander with stalks and roots for extra flavor, a small piece of ginger, roasted seeds and nuts, salt, 1 to 2 dates for sweetness, and some lemon juice. After adding a bit of water, I blended everything into a thick, flavorful chutney. To finish it off, I made a quick tempering with mustard seeds, dried red chili, and cumin seeds and poured it over the chutney. This chutney is packed with protein and iron and comes together super quickly. Now it was dosa time. I recently posted a story on Instagram while making dosas and got so many questions about the tawa I use. So yes, this is my cast iron tawa that I prefer to make dosas and chilas. Trust me, it's a total game changer when it comes to making crispy dosas. I have a non-stick one too, but nothing compares to the texture and crispiness a cast iron pan gives. That said, I know many people struggle with the dosas sticking to the tawa initially. I've been there and I have suffered from that. Even with the pre-seasoning, mine stuck a lot at first. But what is the trick that actually worked? Well, it's not just about seasoning once or twice. It's about consistent use of the tawa that usually no one tells or explains. I started making the kids daily parathas on the same tawa, and it was only after about a month or so it started working flawlessly. Unlike non-stick surfaces, cast iron has a rough base that gives dosas that perfect crisp texture. And now, with just a little bit of greasing, dosas slide off effortlessly no matter what batter I'm using. Thick or thin, spreading the batter is smooth and the dosas cook beautifully even without extra ghee or oil. Once those golden brown spots appear, I take them off the tawa and the ease with which they come off is so satisfying. If you love dosas, chilas, utpams, I would highly recommend investing in a cast iron tawa. It's a one-time buy, but the results are totally worth it. I'll link a few options for you below just in case you want to check. So that's our quick, healthy, protein-rich breakfast ready in no time. The chutney is a must try and I highly recommend making it sooner than later. You can add a filling to the dosa if you like or enjoy it plain. It's absolutely delicious either way. It's kid approved for taste and definitely mom approved for how little time and effort it takes. This time while moving to Delhi, our book rack got damaged. It was the IKEA Billy bookcase, which, while perfect in size and shape, is made of MDF wood and not very sturdy. Especially with the shifting lifestyle like mine, MDF doesn't hold up well. One of its legs broke and we decided it was time for a sturdier replacement. We ended up purchasing a solid wood book rack from a brand called Insara Furniture. I must say, I am a loyal customer of theirs because of the quality and style they consistently deliver. The new book rack arrived and I was excited to install it. So first, I cleared out the old one and gave everything a thorough clean. Cleaning those rarely touched corners is so satisfying. For these kind of spot cleaning tasks, I prefer using a small microfiber cloth instead of a big mop. It feels quicker, more convenient, and even cleaning the cloth afterward becomes easier. Trust me, it really does save time. Now let me introduce you to our latest furniture addition, the new book rack. I opted for a clean contemporary look but with a twist. This one has a combination of open shelves and drawers. It features 4 open shelves including the top and 2 deep drawers. There is something truly charming about high quality solid wood furniture. I am extremely satisfied with Insaraf's collection, wood quality, and their delivery and installation services. So much so that I don't even look elsewhere when it comes to buying furniture. I have also made a separate video featuring my previous Insaraf furniture purchases. I'll link that in the description box along with the link to this book rack in case you wish to check. Now let's start styling the book rack. I love breaking the pattern of books with decor elements to keep the look interesting. Mixing photo frames, artifacts, and book creates a nice visual rhythm. Some sections have vertical stacks of book while others are horizontal to add a bit of drama and prevent the setup from looking monotonous. I also use these metal baskets to store books vertically. It's a clever trick which I'll explain in a bit. I also bought these frame holders which are super versatile. You can use them to display a photo frame or even a decorative plate in any corner of the house. And of course, plants. They instantly bring life to any space and are a must in my decor. On the bottom shelf, I placed a lamp to add some warm lighting along with the basket of books. Now these baskets are so practical as they make it easy to lift and move books around, plus they make cleaning a breeze. They also break the typical stacking style and add a bit of flair. They are sturdy and look very chic. With some more books, a few plants and decor elements, the setup was complete. This is the final look of my book rack and I love it. I have also stored a few extra books and decor items in the drawers for rotation over time. This clean, minimal and stylish look makes me really happy, and it's versatile enough to restyle whenever I want. There are multiple wood stain options to choose from, but I picked this one that stood out from the other furniture pieces and added a bit of contrast. Another feature I love is the elevated metal legs. It makes cleaning underneath much more convenient. The overall design pairs really well with my TV cabinet, which is also from Insaraf. If you are in the market of wooden furniture, I highly recommend going to solid wood. Definitely check out insaraf.com for a variety of styles, colors and designs of furniture. It was lunchtime and we all were very hungry, but thankfully I had already done some prep in the morning. I boiled both kala chana and chole together in the same pressure cooker first time to save time, since both of them take about the same amount of time to cook. I placed the kala chana at the bottom, added water, then placed a small vessel with the chole on top and filled that with water too. Since their cooking time aligns well, they turned out perfectly cooked. I'll be using the kala chana for a curry now, and I'll save the chole to make a salad for dinner later. These little time-saving tricks really help, especially in summer when you don't want to spend too long in the kitchen. Today I'm making dahi wale kale chane, a recipe I first had at my mommy's house a long time ago. It was so delicious that I tried recreating it at home and everyone loved it. For prep, I first chopped some onions, crushed some ginger and garlic, and chopped one tomato. Now in a bowl, I took 1 cup of curd and added all the powdered spices. Turmeric, garam masala, red chili powder, Kashmiri chili powder, coriander powder, roasted cumin powder, and some chole masala. I whisked it all together, and that's the base of our gravy. Now in a kadai, I heated some oil and added cumin seeds, ajwain, bay leaves, hing, and the chopped onions. Once the onions turned golden, I added the chopped tomatoes and salt, cooking everything down until the tomatoes become soft and mushy. I had also boiled some potatoes in the morning, so I added them in too. Then I poured the whisked curd along with a little water and kept stirring until the oil started to separate. A little tip here is that adding potatoes helps prevent the curd from curdling in the gravy. Once the curd was cooked properly, I then added the boiled kala chana and let the gravy simmer and thicken.
It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt.
While the curry was simmering, I quickly made a salad. I sliced cucumber lengthwise, julienned some carrots, and cut onions into half moons. I also chopped a lot of fresh coriander and mint, some for salad and some for garnishing the gravy.
It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? Don't give up. Just hold on tight.
Once the curry thickened nicely, I finished it off with crushed kasuri methi, coriander and mint leaves.
All your life you've tried to be a good man inside. Did everything that you thought you should.
For the salad, I added salt, black salt, lemon juice, the greens, black pepper powder and a sprinkle of chaat masala and mixed it all well. I had already cooked some rice in the morning to avoid the extra kitchen heat, so I just warmed it up. And there it was. A super delicious meal ready in no time.
How much longer will you suffer?
A comforting bowl of dahi wale kala chana, hot steamed rice, and a fresh crunchy salad. Honestly, I call it a perfect summer platter. Do you also make kala chana with a yogurt based curry at home? If not, I highly recommend trying this version at least once. The tangy curd based gravy paired with the nutty chana is such a delicious combination. If you give it a try, don't forget to share your thoughts or send me a picture on Instagram, as it truly motivates me to keep sharing recipes like this with you all. And that's all for today's vlog. I hope you found this video helpful in one way or another. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay connected and follow me on Instagram for some behind the scene updates and everyday moments. Now quickly join me in the comment section because I would love to hear your thoughts and suggestions, and I'll see you in my next vlog very soon.